If you're trying to hire world-class talent, or, if you're trying to become that talent, you are caught in a huge paradox right now. It's what's shaping the modern workplace. We're calling it the AI hiring conundrum.
And we're diving deep into the situation where the very tools applicants use to get their foot in the door, generative AI, are making it, well, almost impossible for companies to verify what candidates actually know.
What's the result?
The result is this epidemic of bad hires. And the really surprising part is that they're incredibly difficult to reverse once you've made that decision.
Okay, let's really unpack this because it sounds like it's becoming a systemic problem. To guide us, we're looking at insights from an expert with a genuinely unique background.
Yeah, this is someone who is both a corporate lawyer specializing in overseas exports and an IT master with 15 years of deep tech experience.
That's quite the combination.
And it's crucial to understand this isn't just theory for them. This person actually ran a specialized English editing business.
Right.
And their clients weren't just anybody. They were editing documents for applicants to Ivy League schools. We're talking Harvard, Johns Hopkins, Stanford, Yale, MIT.
Wow, and corporations too, right? Like Google and Amazon.
Exactly. So their whole career, for over a decade, was built on developing what they call a discerning eye for genuine high-level talent just from looking at text. They know what substance looks like on a page.
So our mission today is to analyze this huge shift.
It's a seismic shift. From a time when a candidate's effort, their character, really shown through their writing, to now where applicants are just, optimized for algorithms.
And we need to figure out what that means for quality control in any modern company.
Let's get into it.
So the source material kicks off by describing what the author calls the golden age of resumes, and it's based on their personal history. Their work in translation and proofreading started as a hobby.
Just a hobby, yeah. But it escalated really quickly. They ended up on these incredibly high-stakes, specialized projects.
What kind of projects are we talking about?
Well, think about the clients. You've got government agencies needing perfect overseas communication, editing the English website for a major company like YG Entertainment.
The K-pop agency.
The very same. And even polishing complex research papers for submission to elite SCI-level international journals. This is not just, fixing typos. It's about translating these really high-level, nuanced ideas into perfect English.
And I guess working across all those different fields is what developed that discerning eye you mentioned earlier. What did that eye actually see in a resume?
It was never about flashy design. It was all about the quality of the narrative and the visible effort. The author claims, and I believe it, that after editing thousands of these documents, they could literally predict a candidate's success just by scanning their document.
That's an amazing skill.
It is. They can sense the quality of the thinking, the precision in the writing, really the underlying commitment to the craft of communication itself.
So the resume wasn't just a list of jobs. It was, a character assessment.
Precisely. And that character is so visible in the preparation. This brings us to a fascinating detail that really shows what kind of deep work we've lost.
Go on.
Even now, with ChatGPT, the most elite clients still seek professional editing. And they have something in common, not just impressive credentials, but they meticulously draft their Korean resumes, often 8 to 10 pages long, without any AI help.
Hold on, a 10-page resume. Here in the West, we're taught, one page, stick to one page, maybe two if you're very senior. What does a 10-page document signal?
It's a powerful cultural indicator of commitment. In certain professional fields, especially in Asia, that length isn't seen as padding. It's seen as proof of meticulous, exhaustive self-reflection.
So they're not trying to fit into a template.
Not at all. They are thoroughly documenting their entire professional journey. And that takes a huge amount of time and, frankly, intellectual honesty.
Okay, so that's the handful of dedicated pros. But then ChatGPT comes along and the whole world flips upside down.
That's the inflection point. The editing service saw a huge drop in general inquiries because suddenly AI could produce a technically perfect document in seconds. And the fundamental shift is that AI has, in their words, leveled out the average quality.
Okay, let me push back on that leveled out idea. If AI makes every resume grammatically perfect, isn't that just raising the floor for everyone? A good thing.
It raises the floor, yes, but it completely removes the ceiling. And critically, it removes all the human markers of effort. HR managers are now just drowning in resumes that sound perfect. They all have the same optimized, confident voice, the little flaws, the unique phrasing that might reveal a different way of thinking, that's all gone.
They've lost the signal.
They've lost the signals for true character and effort, and that makes it exponentially harder to find someone for a role that needs real innovation or complex problem solving.
Which leads directly to the core problem for companies. What happens when that perfect, optimized resume leads to a hiring decision?
This is the crisis they're facing. They hire someone based on this flawless resume, only to find out the new hire cannot perform the work. The AI checked all the boxes, but the person can't translate that text into real-world application.
But if they're so clearly underperforming, why can't companies just, let them go? This is where the source's legal background comes in, I imagine.
That's the killer complication. Because of modern labor law, especially in many overseas markets, firing them remains a challenge. You can't just fire someone for not being as good as their resume said.
Right, you need a paper trail.
You need to document failure to meet objectives, give warnings, go through these long performance improvement plans. And if the gap is subtle, like they meet the bare minimum but can't innovate, the company's just stuck with a costly, underperforming employee.
This failure to tell real talent from just, optimized text brings us to the most extreme example of this arms race. The whole dilemma is captured in this one headline our source found in the Chosun Ilbo.
Yeah, this one is pretty alarming. 21-year-old Korean American who passed Amazon with cheating AI raises 7.5 billion won in investment.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack.
It moves way beyond just resume writing into deliberate deception. This is the story of Mr. A, a second-generation Korean American. He didn't just use AI to write his resume. He used a custom program he built with AI to get through Amazon's entire recruitment process.
And he didn't keep it a secret. He posted the whole method on YouTube. It's like he was taunting them.
He was. The process was engineered to beat the automated screeners and help him during the live remote interviews. Amazon's response was, as you'd expect, immediate. They saw the public evidence and rescinded his acceptance.
And the reason?
They explicitly called it cheating.
So from a legal perspective, what was the tripwire? How could they just pull the offer like that?
It's all in the terms of engagement. Amazon and basically every other major tech firm clearly states that unauthorized tools must not be used during the resume submission and interview process.
And using an AI to feed you answers in real time is a pretty clear violation.
Absolutely. Especially during timed technical tests or behavioral assessments. It's a fundamental breach of that agreement.
How does a tool like that even work in a live interview? Wouldn't an experienced interviewer spot it?
Well, that's the scary part. It's sophisticated. This isn't just someone reading notes off a screen. Mr. A's program was designed to provide these highly structured, complex answers in real time.
Can you give an example?
Sure. So you get a tough behavioral question like, describe a time you failed and what you learned. The AI doesn't just give a simple answer. It gives you a perfect response structured with something like the STAR method: situation, task, action, result.
Which is exactly what interviewers are trained to look for.
Exactly. The interviewer just hears this perfectly articulate, well-structured, confident response delivered without any hesitation. They're grading the output, not the thought process behind it.
The system rewards the performance, even if it's simulated.
Precisely. And this takes us to the truly shocking part of the story. It doesn't end with his rejection from Amazon.
What happened next?
Well, he and his co-founder took the notoriety from this whole incident and leveraged it. They used this proven cheating capability to secure a massive investment.
How massive?
$5.3 million, about 7.5 billion Korean won.
Wait, they got millions of dollars in venture capital for a company founded on successfully tricking one of the biggest corporations in the world.
That's the startling implication, yes. Their program is now a startup focused on helping users deceive others in all sorts of high-stakes situations, exams, sales pitches, and of course, interviews.
It just proves the incentive structure is completely broken.
It rewards manipulation of the system above everything else. And our source, with their background in both law and IT, immediately saw the ethical red flags. This isn't just editing a resume anymore. It's a profitable business model built on deception.
So to really understand why a cheating AI tool is so effective, we need to look at what it's up against.
Exactly. We have to talk about the company's automated defenses. We need to look at the first line of defense, the gatekeepers known as the applicant tracking system, or ATS.
Right. For anyone who doesn't know, the ATS is that invisible wall that basically every big corporation, Amazon, Google, you name it, uses to manage the thousands and thousands of resumes they get.
That's it. It's a digital bouncer. The ATS automatically scans, scores, and analyzes all those resumes based on keywords and semantic ranking. It then recommends the optimized candidates to HR.
So a human being doesn't even see most of the resumes submitted?
Not even close. Our source stresses that most applicants fail right here at the ATS stage. They get filtered out because their resume's format or language just doesn't register properly with the machine.
And this created the first arms race, right?
Oh,
Applicants trying to stuff their resumes with the right keywords to please the machine.
Yes, but now with generative AI, it's a whole new level. Applicants aren't just formatting anymore. They're using AI to write the entire thing, aiming for perfect keyword density and semantic flow.
So the companies are fighting back.
And that's where the counterwar begins. Companies aren't just sitting there, they're developing their own advanced programs designed specifically to detect AI-generated content in resumes.
How does that work?
They're looking for the telltale signs, the perfect consistency, the lack of human variation, the use of perfectly optimized but sort of sterile language.
So if your AI resume gets caught by their AI detector,
You're automatically rejected. The whole system has become perfectly circular. AI generating content to pass an AI screener, only to get rejected by an AI detector. It's exhausting just thinking about it.
it is. And it puts the genuinely qualified candidate in a terrible position. You have to pass the machine without sounding like a machine yourself.
It's a real tightrope.
So for you listening, if you just want your real skills to shine through and get past this automated chaos, what's the single most important takeaway from our source material for beating the ATS?
The answer is actually pretty counterintuitive. It's simplicity, substance over style. While everyone's making these incredibly visually flashy resumes with graphics and icons and fancy layouts, the ATS often struggles to parse all that. It gets confused.
So the pretty designs can actually hurt you.
They can. To successfully pass the machine, the source emphasizes that the resume must be structured in a simple, text-based format. A clean, clear structure ensures the program can accurately analyze your experience and skills. The algorithm understands text and data, not graphics.
That's fascinating. In this super high-tech fight, the winning strategy for an honest professional is basically to go back to basics, a simple text document.
It's what the machine understands best. And what's truly illuminating here is the tension this creates. Companies desperately want to hire the genuinely capable people, like those clients with the 10-page resumes who do the deep work.
But they can't find them.
They can't, because they're forced to sift through this ocean of AI-optimized, potentially hollow credentials. The current system, completely unintentionally, favors the skilled optimizer, the person who knows how to game the ATS over the genuinely qualified professional.
So you now have a much clearer idea of why companies are struggling so much with retention and why the resume, which used to be the gold standard, is just not a reliable indicator of actual ability anymore.
And this cycle explains the bad hires, the costly mistakes, and the legal headaches that follow.
This whole situation, especially the success of Mr. A and his startup, really forces us to look at the future of hiring. They got millions in investment for a program designed to profit from deceiving people.
And if companies can't reliably screen for true capability, if their gatekeepers are so easily fooled, we have to ask a really tough question.
Which is,
Will the future of hiring ultimately prioritize a candidate's ability to manipulate the system and its algorithms over their actual genuine professional competence? That's the shift we're watching happen right now.